This week's video is going to be my bestie picking out books from my bookshelf of what I'm going to read.
I'm very excited right now. I'm picking how many? Three?
Three.
Okay.
Three books for me to read this week.
Because I gave you this one to read.
Okay, and so...
I haven't read it yet.
Okay, what is this first book?
It's called The Inheritance Games. It's a 3-book series. I've only read this one too, so I also have to finish the series in general. And it's about... Should I give like a... Because I know... just because I know what this one is. It's a synopsis. It's about this, basically a nobody who inherits a billionaire's fortune. And she has no idea why. She's never met this person. And the, gist of the book is she has to live in the mansion for 30 days or something in order to keep the inheritance. So she obviously does, but the family's pissed and doesn't know what's happening, and it's really good.
Okay, so that was book 1. Now tell me, what is book 2 that you're picking for me? Yeah, read the inside, and you can tell them what the book is about.
As a teen, David... blah 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 was I can't say that name, was a psychic prodigy operating under the shadow of his oppressive occultist father. Now, years after his father's death and rapidly approaching his 30th birthday, he's content with the high-powered life he's curated as a Boston attorney, moonlighting as a powerful medium for his secret society. Ooh. But with power comes a price, and the devil has come to collect an ancestral deal. David's days are numbered and death looms at his door. Reluctantly, he reaches out to the only person he's ever trusted, his ex-boyfriend and secret society rival, Reese, for help. If you know, you know. However, the only way to get to Reese is through his wife, Maura. Thrust into each other's care, emotions once buried deep resurface, and the trio race to figure out their feelings for one another before the devil steals David away for good.
Cover is really, really cool for this book. It's trying to get my face, but okay, she's picking another.
Last one, I'm not going to do Throne of Glass or Crescent City or any of those like that, because I know it's another series.
Okay.
I want to do this.
Ooh.
Just because the name is speaking to me. Instant Karma.
Okay.
By Marissa Meyer. Is this a little...
It's kind of
rom-com?
I think it's a rom-com, young adult, teenager type book. I remember I got it in the for sale section because you could see it's clearly a $3 book.
I also just karma is that bitch, so I kind of just love that. Her dreams of karmic justice are fulfilled when she wakes up with the ability to cast instant karma on those around her. Prue punishes everyone from public vandals to mean gossips, but there is one person at whom her powers consistently backfire. Quint Erickson, her slacker of a lab partner. Quint is annoyingly cute and impressively noble, especially when it comes to his work with the Rescue Center for Local Sea Animals. Okay, this gives... Did you ever watch the movie, and it was based off a book too? Oh my god, the one with Miley Cyrus, the last song.
Yeah.
He was the main love interest that was also saving sea creatures. So I feel like that's interesting. When Prue resigns herself to working the rescue center for an extra credit, she begins to uncover truths about baby otters, environmental upheaval, and romantic crossed signals. Her karmic insights reveal how the thin line between virtue and vanity, generosity and greed, love and hate, and fate.
Guys, so I've got my book.
I want a 10-page essay on each book.
On each book, okay.
What you loved, what you didn't love.
Video essay coming.
That's my requirement.
I'll start with the Inheritance Games, then with Evocation, and then I'll end with Instant Karma. Okay.
I'm excited.
Yay! Okay, guys, let's get reading. Seems quite interesting. I think she must have lost her mom the way it's insinuating, and she lives with her sister, and now this guy Drake, that is her sister Libby's on and off again boyfriend, seems to be back in the apartment, so she is going back into her car, living in her car. The principal thought she was cheating on a test, and so then she retook the test, and she's waiting for her test results to come back, and that's where I'm at. I'm sorry, I'm just a little shocked right now because I'm just going to read this last part to you. And if you've already read this book, like, I'm so sorry, but I'm literally shocked right now. $46.2 billion. I thought, my heart attacking my rib cage and my mouth sandpaper dry. Tobias Hawthorne was worth $46.2 billion. And he left his grandsons $1 million combined. $100,000 total to his daughters, another $500,000 to his servants, and annuity for Nan. The math in this equation did not add up. It couldn't add up. One by one, the other occupants of the room turned to stare at me. The remainder of my estate, Mr. Ortega read, including all properties, monetary assets, and worldly possessions not otherwise specified, I leave to Avery Kylie Grahams. And the thing is like the grandsons don't even get the money until their 25th birthday, and they seem to all be older teenagers, and one is maybe like 21. So they grew up billionaires. They've been billionaires their whole lives. These grandsons, the daughters. It's gotta be somebody she played with in the park, like chess or something. Oh my God. She says, this is not happening. This cannot be happening. I'm dreaming. I'm delusional. And I swear I would feel the same exact way. He left it. Oh my God. So one of the lawyers was like, but let me make one thing very clear. Per the terms of the will, any heir who challenges Avery's inheritance will forfeit their share of the estate entirely. Grayson literally was like, I think you should leave. And then one of the lawyers was like, technically, it's her house. I love this line. I braced myself. Billions. Wars had been fought over for less. Not Nash smiling at Libby. Our little emo Libby. He said, you take care, darling. Oh my God, this is just getting better and better. Avery was like, we can't afford rooms here when she left the estate. And one of the lawyers, Alyssa, was like, oh, honey, you own this hotel. I'll be finished with this by tomorrow night. I guarantee it. I mean, I'm on page 48 already. And we're at an hour now. So I'm going to come back to you in a little bit here. Let me just tell you where I'm at. If you've never read this book, then skip this part because there's no spoiler free happening right now. So I'm at the part where Avery just got shot at in the woods when she was like looking for, I guess, a clue with Jameson. And then like her adrenaline took over when they were in the Laughlin house inside the bathroom, and he was like helping her wipe off the blood or whatever. And she just like kissed him, and then he was like, I knew you were special. And then she kind of like freaked out because she realized he wasn't like saying that like about her as a person, but about like her ability to solve puzzles and riddles and things like that, and like his kind of like obsession with her. And then she also found out that Emily dated both I almost said the wrong names, Grayson and Jameson, at the same time, and that Grayson said that it was her heart. And Avery found that out from her sister, who I want to say is Rachel. There's a lot of names in here, so I'm trying my best to like keep up with names. And Thea, the aunt's second husband's niece, is staying with them. again, it gets super complicated, and then there's kind of like a loophole in the will right now where if Avery was to die, then her fortune would go to the heir. And I'm at that part now where like she's like, okay, but I don't have an heir because she can't officially sign the will for a year from now until she's 18, and she has to live on Hawthorne like estate. And yeah, so like I'm at that part right now. I finished the inheritance games last night, even though there's still a bookmark in here, and I just want to go back. But this, us, he swallowed. It can't happen. Avery, I seen the way Jameson looks at you. He didn't say that he wouldn't let another girl come between them. He didn't have to. Honestly, just like really trying to exercise my ability to be patient, because the me who, if this was not a reading vlog where somebody else picked my reads for me, I would just move on to the next book in the series and keep going until I finish, because that's my personality trait. But because I can't do that, oh, sorry, I was reaching for the other book. We're moving on to A Vocation. And I love on the back where it says only blood can rewrite blood. And so now we're moving on to the book about David Aristarchov, a psychic prodigy operating under the shadow of his oppressive occultist father. Again, I would have never picked this book up myself. It was given to me as a gift, and I still have the receipt for it because it's not something that I would have picked up on my own. I will give you some updates. I do think it's a little cool though that it's got like the tarot cards on here. But before that, I thought I could show you, I ordered some clothes from this Australian fashion brand that I have honestly been following the CEO, Brittany Saunders, for years and years on Instagram, and like all the different businesses she built. And this is the one that really kind of like took off. And it is, I love that it is a brand that is more about like size inclusivity. Let me try and like angle it down a little bit so you can see. So I have on the size 6, and even though it's like even a little bit tight on my bum, you can definitely feel how good the quality of this fit is. And I cannot wait to wear this like in the summertime. I love just like something super flowy and easy to throw on. And I feel like this is that something. Let me try on the next set for you. Okay, I literally don't know if I was recording the last one. But okay, if there's one thing I'm absolutely in love with from this whole thing, like that just makes me feel so good, is this dress. I love how this dress makes me feel, like the drop waist, and I love how long it is. I do just have a bigger rump, and I like to be able to cover it. So that's what I feel most confident about. And then I love that it has pockets. So I'm going to go back through her website, because if I can find this in like a pastel blue or a pastel pink, because right now I have a lot of pastel blues that I've bought in this past winter for dresses, and I feel like that's going to be kind of my color for summer. And that is it. Tell me what your favorite item was out of the whole thing. I would say this white dress, the pink outfit, and then the brown outfit. What is your ratings? I'm gonna start reading A Vacation. Okay, I am back. It is multiple days later, so I apologize. I didn't really do a lot talking about this book because I had to put it down so many times just because, like I said, I'm not a horror girly and I am a little chicken butt. It just gives me nightmares. Like, even like some fantasy books, if there's something like scary in it, I will get nightmares over it. And so when it's like actually like horror, I will say, like, if you're a chicken butt like me and you watch the Hallmark Channel, and that's as scary as it gets for you, I will say that if you were definitely interested in like secret societies, also this is kind of spoilers. The main character then meets up with his ex and his wife, and then they become a polyamorous. I think that's the correct word. I don't know. This just ended up not being my vibe, and then it ended in like an exorcism, and I'm a scaredy cat, and that's what it is. And so like I had to like close it a couple times because like and you know, like I'm reading all day and then I'm like thinking about like a demon possessing somebody and I'm like, oh my God, like just freaking out. And I truly think it's because like I grew up in like the true scary movie era and where like The Ring and all of those movies came out. And I feel like I'm just scarred for life. Hi besties, welcome back. It has taken me forever to finish that last book, Instant Karma. But all I can say is I'm sorry I didn't record myself reading it. It honestly just took me so long. The beginning of the book just felt really slow. I have come to realize that I often buy young adult books thinking that they'll be comfort reads and just like cozy comfort reads when I'm in between books or feeling like I'm in a slump. And I actually feel like they're the ones that put me in a slump. And the more that I look back on all of the videos I create, it is definitely the young adult books that I let myself down with. And I think I just need to stop because I'm no longer a young adult. I'm a grown up big girl. And so I just want to recap on the books. So first, we'll start with The Inheritance Games. That one is a young adult book and is a mystery series, but I think that's what would get me into mystery. So if you have any mystery books that aren't like crime focused and are almost kind of like Hallmark-esque, I am such a little chicken when it comes to scary things. I really, really loved the Inheritance Games. For sure, it was a 4.5 star for me. The only reason why it wasn't 5 star, and again, I think it's a theme within myself, is that I felt like I could guess everything. Like I knew from the beginning it had to do with the man that she played chess with, and I just knew. And then moving on to the next book, Avocation, again, I feel like if you love haunted mansion, haunted house, like being possessed and demons and all those things, you would really love this book. I think for me, having to like skip through the book really lessened my ability to accurately rate it. But there is like this love triangle, there's like a throuple happening, there's this subplot of romance. And I feel like if you really like that, then you'll really like a book like that one. And so again, it's nothing against the author. I think it's just my personal interests and likes within books. Okay, and then leaning into Instant Karma. Instant Karma, I think because the girl was like a freshman, sophomore, one of the two. She's super young. I'm like way past that point in my life, right? I'm at the end of my 20s and I just felt like, you know, when you no longer can relate to a character, like there's a difference between a fantasy book where the girl is like super stubborn, right? Compared to a girl in high school who's so stubborn and you've been through that and you're like, okay, like girl, like calm down, get through it, settle. And so I think for me, again, that young adult aspect, I'm looking at it from late 20s me lens. And I think I get into slumps because I'm like, ugh, I can't read about another teenager who's this perfectionist who wants everything to happen, because like been there, done that. I'm over that. Like, I want exhilaration. I want a crazy love story. Like, I want crazy without crazy scary. Overall, I do think it's a great book to recommend to young adult girlies from age 12 to 18, or I think it's like 11 to 18 is what is considered the young adult genre. I just happened to pick that book up in the clearance section of Books A Million. I loved the Spanish aspect of Instant Karma, so I love that, and about the Puerto Rican food and when they go to the restaurant and she sings karaoke and just talking about the Puerto Rican food and all those little things and living in California. And so it was just kind of bringing a little bit of that, like missing California, missing my mom, missing food type aspect in my life. But yeah, and just talking about abuelita and all those things. Otherwise, I do think it was an overall good experience. It just took me a lot longer than I normally like. Inheritance Games, I finished within 24 hours. The next two books dragged over the last 2 weeks, and I truly think it was just me and nothing towards the authors, and it's just my preference of books that get me hooked in. And that is it. I have a lot more reading vlogs and things planned. I'm currently already recording the next one, but I do have some ARC books that I was gifted that I actually need to read and provide reviews for. So I need to do that this weekend. And otherwise, if you enjoyed this reading vlog, or you have ideas for a reading vlog that you want me to do, I have some unique ones that I'm going to try out and see if y'all like. Otherwise, if you have ideas, please leave them in the comments. And as always, thank you for being here, supporting, watching all the way through if you did. I know I'm a big yapper, but I enjoy talking about books, talking about these things, and I hope that you enjoy them as well. If not, then tell me what else you want me to make. Otherwise, I will see you in the next video. Thank you so much for watching. I love you, bestie. I hope you have a good night, a good day, and you better take on the world and know that you can do it. Okay, bye.